Hi Sagittarius. So this is the first time I have worn this scarf like this around my head, and then I was doing this. I didn't want to like wrap it in the stretchy stuff. I just wanted the air to like breathe in there a little bit, and then it's a little religious looking, and I realized that I was doing a Sagittarius read like after that. I always feel very strong energies around the Sagittarius moon. I really love the energy, but I do find it hard to have close relationships with Sagittariuses. There's just like, and I don't know if it's because of the opposition to my sun in Gemini, but I have challenging energy because of some personal stuff about it. But I think new ideas, inspiration, journeying, that's Sagittarius energy for sure. But if you are too hasty about stuff, then the lower, it's interesting, like a high vibe and a low vibe of the Sagittarius energy, pursuing new ideas, new passions, exploring, traveling, but also like if you are too hasty with that fiery energy, you will you also lose your abundance. And we're thinking about, we can think about the fires and kind of what's going on climate-wise right now, but the fire of Leo season. And I think as we get like closer to the end of a season, it's sort of like you get the kind of high vibe of the season towards the beginning, and then it kind of morphs into the lower vibe. It's really beautiful. It happens pretty consistently, but there's just a lot of fire energy going on, and like we cannot live without fire. I just realized how much I love just doing like a lighter meditation, as long as it's safe to do so, and it's just brief. With a meditation with the flame from the lighter, but also we see that the fire can really just burn everything down and destroy it and dehydrate it, and so just really beautiful. So that's kind of just like Sagittarius energy that popped out. But I love Sagittarius energy. Some challenging energy around it, but I understand why we cannot live without Sagittariuses for sure. So Sagittarius, the mutable fire, as I like to say, as if fire wasn't mutable enough. Touch across for Sagittarius. No. That's for Sagittarius. Thank you. Sagittarius in the present energy, maybe feeling like a lack of energy with the Magician here in the reverse for your present energy. Having trouble making your dreams become a reality. Sometimes this can be a card about manipulation, but I have a hard time reading it that way. But just like a significant lack of energy, like you want to make something happen, but you're not exactly able to do that in this moment, or feeling some sort of like a lack of energy around something you've been trying to create. A challenge right now is the 2 of Cups. It's interesting because I did pull a read for you before this, but then I recorded it. I made a mistake with the recording, so I started again, but this is actually kind of similar present energy. And in the challenge, there was like a delay with the 3 of Wands in the reverse before, and you had the Queen of Cups as the challenge. Now it's the 2 of Cups. So, the message does come back, which is interesting. So feeling some sort of like lack of energy about something, having trouble making your dreams become a reality. And the challenge is this, for some reason, this 2 of Cups can really mean like a love relationship, but really just a creative partnership, but usually like a relationship with like one other person or one other idea. And so this is feeling like a challenge because there's some, why, a love or a partnership would feel like a challenge. I'm not exactly sure right now, so let's see. In the recent past, you had the 10 of Swords, so some sort of really major disappointment. Just like this card is pretty clear on what it's trying to say usually. Some sort of major disappointment that occurred to you might be leading into this Magician in the reverse, which is feeling like a lack of energy. You're trying to make something happen, maybe because the energy you're coming out of most recently is this Sword energy. And in the near future, you have the Four of Cups. So this is like being handed a gift, or being handed a creative opportunity, being handed a relationship, being handed some type of nurturing water energy, and kind of just like sitting and looking at it and being like, okay, that's nice, I see that that's there, but I'm not necessarily going to like take it from you. So coming out of major disappointment, feeling like a lack of energy, and like just not really being in the mood to like receive like a gift, maybe feeling kind of like apathetic or like withdrawn about opportunities being offered to you. In your conscious energy, you have the Eight of Swords in the reverse, so a lot of sword energy here. But this is like realizing that you're not stuck. So consciously you're realizing, like, I thought I had trapped myself in here and with, these, in this, sword prison, but I can take off this blindfold, I can step out of this puddle of water, and I can get out of this situation, is what maybe you're consciously realizing. In your subconscious energy, in your energy below, you have the Ace of Swords in the reverse, maybe needing to, subconsciously realizing, like, you need to maybe rework through some kind of an idea. So you have swords both in the above and the below energy, which is matching. And in this case, it's maybe like having like cloudy thinking about something, or needing to rethink something that you'd been thinking about previously. But really some healing energy here, and I think that that's going to be a pretty consistent theme while Chiron is in retrograde, which it went in July 15th and going all the way through December 19th. So big period of healing with that. But like maybe thinking that you need to rethink an idea, go back to the drawing board about something. Your advice right now is the Ace of Cups. So it's like to take that cup with this near future energy of the Four of Cups, the divine hand offering you a cup and saying like, I'm not really sure, like that looks nice, but I'm not necessarily going to take it right now. Not really caring about that. The advice is to like take the cup, I think. It's to, if the divine is offering you love, or a love relationship, or a new creative opportunity, some way that you can feel like nurturance and nurture others in the way that feels in line for you, the advice is to follow that love, to follow this cup energy. Like, don't, try not to be not like apathetic about the fact that you've been handed that gift, but like really, take that gift that you've been given for a reason. In the energy surrounding you, a lot of sword energy, really. The Nine of Swords in the reverse. So releasing the energy surrounding you is the releasing of some sort of a major disappointment. So the recent past, you had the Ten of Swords, but now you are the Nine of Swords in the reverse. So you are really healing from some sort of really major sense of loss. So a healing is surrounding you, very much so. Chiron in retrograde. A concern that you have is a Ten of Pentacles in the reverse. So I think this is a valid concern for anyone to have that you're not going to have the family success and the maximum abundance in terms of your resources as you had wanted. So like having like the home life like not be happy because you don't have the resources to support that is a concern that you have, but not necessarily anything. I certainly don't see any like other pentacles here at all, so I wouldn't worry about resources, but like I wouldn't worry about resources. But again, this is just like a concern that you might be having at this time, that like you're not like there's a loss of like the stability of the home or of the way that you accumulate resources. And the outcome of this whole situation is really beautiful because Chiron is in retrograde and it's the Five of Cups in the reverse, which is really moving on and self-forgiveness and forgiveness of others. A lot of swords, a lot of cups. So healing. Go towards the love feeling. The fire can dry us up and burn us away, but and that's what water is for, is to help kind of balance that. So like go towards that divine loving energy, and this person is realizing they have cups, so that's so beautiful. It's like I don't know if I'll take that cup for the 4, but then the universe is like, no, please take the cup. That's your advice. And then you have the 5 of Cups in the reverse, which is this person who realizes, in the upright, they're kind of crying about the couple of cups that are spilled, but they still have a couple of cups that are left, and they're just not paying attention to those ones. And this is saying like, oh, I see, there are still some cups there. So I love that. That progression is beautiful. Healing. I get 3. Okay. Oh, that's fun. I wanted to get one of these cards, but I haven't yet. Archway, new opportunities, possibilities, and paths opening up. Sagittarius likes new paths. Flowers, happiness. So yeah, healing. And wealth, which is interesting because I wasn't seeing any pentacles here at all, but like I think you have a fear of not having the wealth that you had wanted, but this is maybe saying like don't worry about that, because I'm not really seeing it anywhere else. So it's kind of like maybe it's just like not the thing to be worried about, and maybe like you'll be fine. I think it's 3 cards. Okay, I'm giving 4. So comfort, magic, intuition, and rejection. Pretty cards here. Okay. So it's interesting. So let me do rejection first, because that's, maybe the heavier hitter, if anything. Try to reframe the pain of rejection and consider that whatever rejected you wasn't meant to be a part of your life at this time, whether it be a person, job, or something else. Some even say that rejection is protection. So even though it may really hurt right now, know that something better is waiting for you. Trust that whatever is meant for you is on its way. And I definitely see that, like this cup, there's a divine cup of love being offered to you, and like it will come and be on its way. But like maybe this, there's a sense of rejection with this 10 of Swords in the reverse, but like now you're really like working to heal that pain that was caused. Comfort. When comfort comes up in a reading, it signals that you may need to invite some more self-care and comfort into your life. A great way to do this is through nourishing your spirit or higher self. This can be something as simple as cleaning out your home and rearranging your space in order to invite in clear and comforting energy. It can also mean taking the time to prepare yourself a meal that your body has been craving. Whatever it is, do it with ease and give your nervous system the gentle break it needs. And I really like that message for Sagittarius, because Sagittarius always wants to be like trying new things and, exploring and like freedom and just like optimism and, having fun. But it's really important to also remember like to take like comfort. So maybe that's this cup, this creative opportunity, this love, this relationship, this comfort of the water. Maybe that's something to just like remember to like, it's okay to like dampen the fire a little bit. We all need like a dimmer switch, and so like we need that balance. So like a reminder of exploration, but also of comfort and why that's important. So then you can launch off again, and also just to enjoy comfort for its own sake. Magic is real. Magic. It is the spark and the excitement that comes out of nowhere, the act of manifestation, or the feeling of creating something from nothing. It is all of these things and more. This card represents the need to acknowledge the magic and sense of wonder within your life. It's happening around you all the time. You just need to look for it. And I was going to say Sagittarius, when there's a Sagittarius moon, if I'm out like on the roads, I will almost always see like a set of like just eyes, like in a mosaic or in a mural. And I was going to say, like, I think of like Gemini's the witness, but for some reason I feel Sagittarius is like the watcher, and I don't know what that distinction is yet still exactly, but like it's how I want to describe it. And we got the eye here, so like magic is all around, and it's really beautiful because I feel that kind of stuff heavy on a Sagittarius moon. More than most moons. And one more. Intuition. Oh, wow. And this one's also one of the eyes. Intuition is an inner knowing that we all possess. Society encourages us to ignore the deep knowledge that sits within us and asks us to use the intellect instead. but sometimes intellect alone can't guide you where you need to go. The more you pay attention to your intuition, the stronger it becomes. What is your intuition trying to tell you? Where is it guiding you? And so I think, again, towards this, it looks like this reading is bringing you towards that water energy, and accepting that nurturance, and in being in touch with your intuition and with your creativity, and in a very like concrete sense, and your relationships, but like really tapping into that intuition and feeling the magic of things, really. Hard to keep the chiffon on. Really like magic and intuition is what this cup energy moving towards the cups is, and that seems like a pretty clear reading for me. Even this rejection card, like water feels rejection, and so like your healing and your like getting in touch with your intuition will lead you towards where you're trying to go, wherever it is that you're trying to go, because everyone's going to have a different story. It's also a Virgo moon, maybe that's why the scarf. One, two, three, four, five. Interesting. Virgo's a hermit moon. Not coming out. Look at the bigger picture, full moon in Sagittarius. So for a Sagittarius reading, and I love this because this is the pinkness of this moon is like a little bit matching of the colors of the color prism. It's almost like these four colors together would sort of make this up, and there's like that pinkishness of the fire. So look at the bigger picture. Pictures, art, the cups. Look at the bigger picture. Yeah, like the bow and arrows there for Sagittarius. Interesting. Maybe that's about this new opportunities awaiting you, and maybe that's what that cup energy is. Creative opportunities. There's a bigger picture going on here. I don't see like a lot of major arcana energy at all, but like your present energy is feeling like a lack of your major arcana energy. So like maybe just like take a bird's eye view out, and that'll be where the ticket's at. Body healing. I surge on the uprising wave of love, and I love this because it's just like, I'm getting like a lot of water energy here for where it could be helpful for you to go right now, Sagittarius. Chiron in retrograde. Because, a surge can be like fire energy, Leo, Sagittarius, but a wave of love is very much that cup energy. My life can be summed up in 3 accounts. I was raw, I was cooked, and I was burned. The fire. I surge on the uprising wave of love. No gravity can stop me from rising. The moon pulls the tide of life towards her, and my soul is oneness with all of life, answers her call. A wave of love consumes me, and upwards I fly, flying through water to greet her shining body. Led by my heart, Leo season, my wits are addled, and my mind becomes a blurry mess. And so I feel the truth of her love in the divine reflection she shines back at me from her radiant heart. So a lot of like heart energy, like Leo, creative and love opportunity. And I think Sagittarius can get like stuck in their heads in a different way than air, but fire can also do that, and not necessarily be in touch with like the more soft side of their emotion and stuff. And so you can get trapped in the head of being the philosopher and wanting to know everything, and be wise and write poetry and be worldly. But sometimes like getting out of your head into your body is like the balance that you need for that to work actually like most effectively. Sometimes these are long. Why seek to impose a smaller and less interesting story upon life when the great master storyteller is weaving a fantastic tale of great love, great adventure, and sublime spiritual success? No, it is wiser, wilder, and more fun to surf the great wave of consciousness seeking to overtake you now. Dive in, beloved, surge with it. You are being given a gift of grace in this oracle, the promise that you won't drown and that you will, in fact, be given a glimpse of your own divinity should you choose to accept whatever will be offered to you. And that reminds me of like the Judgment card, which I sometimes associate with Sagittarius. I'm not sure if that's correct or not. And so you are being offered something. Like this is like a divine offering of love or creative opportunity. Like you're being handed a gift, and the future is like maybe not necessarily taking it. This is to like a suggestion to take it. Take the cup. You're being a gift of grace, and the promise you won't drown. So like maybe the fire sometimes is worried about the water because the water can put the fire just out, and so that can scare fire. But if you like balance it and work together, then you can just get like warm water, and like warm water is nice. So it's like you don't have to just be fully consumed by the water. And this is like you're not going to. You're going through a healing period, and you won't be consumed by the water. But as you move towards the water, that is where you can maybe find your next gift. Beautiful. Okay. All right. Thanks for joining, Sagittarius.